Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching an India Today special broadcast. There are just hours to go before the big counting day in Karnataka. And over the next 1 hour, we look at the big national implications of the Karnataka verdict. How will tomorrow's verdict impact the 2019 general elections? We'll also look at the X factors which could swing and decide who wins Karnataka tomorrow. Let me introduce you to some of the smartest, sharpest, most incisive political minds joining us in the India Today Mediaplex for this 1 hour special broadcast, starting with my colleague Rajdeep Sardesai. Welcome. Flanking him, Harish Bijur, Manisha Priyam, R.K. Upadhyay. To my left, I want to introduce Sandeep Shastri, Veera Raghav, Narendra Thaneja and Rohan Gupta of the Congress. So what I've done first is put out for you 5 major scenarios. We're giving them a probability, and then we'll also check with our guests how likely they believe each of these scenarios are, and then we'll assess what impact each of those scenarios could have on national Indian politics. I'll start right at the top with scenario number 1, which draws from the India Today Axis My India exit poll, which suggests that the Congress is likely to get very close to a full majority. If this happens, remember, this would come on the back of several defeats and debacles for the Congress party. It will be a massive boost to the Congress's fortunes. It would give the Congress added impetus right ahead of the Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh elections. That will become trickier for the BJP then. Siddaramaiah emerges as the number 3 leader in the Congress, right behind Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. He is then suddenly one cut above all other Congress leaders apart from the Gandhis. Rahul Gandhi gets an opportunity to establish his leadership. He's just taken over as party president. Remember, a leader is only as good as the victories he can land. Gandhi is able to lead the Congress to victory tomorrow. That would help him establish his leadership. Given the fact that this is the scenario which seems most likely on the back of the India Today Axis My India exit poll, by far the most reliable pollster in India, we're giving it a probability of 3 to 5. 3 stars out of 5 is our own likely probability of this scenario coming true. I want to ask Rajdeep first. 3 to 5 stars is what we're giving this scenario. How do you assess the impact of the Congress getting very close to a full majority?
Look, you've got to go with the pollster. Rather than go by your gut. My gut is that the Congress will be 100 plus. Now, whether that 100 plus becomes 120 or stops at 105 depends on the marginal seats. Karnataka is a state with a disproportionate number of marginal seats for the simple reason that you have different local battles being waged in different regions of Karnataka. This is 6 elections into 1. I've been saying this, from day one. This is not a pan-Karnataka election. The only pan-Karnataka factor that could enable the Congress to get a full majority is if the Chief Minister's Ahinda factor, bringing together this wide social coalition, sweeps him to power in Old Mysore, Hyderabad, Karnataka, Central Karnataka, to a large extent. So I think that is the one reason why you could hope, perhaps if you're a congressman, that you will get a full majority. But my sense is that you will have a tough contest that's going all the way. But I do believe the Congress could be more than 100 quite simply because it has a wider social base than the BJP. That's the reason why I think our pollster may have picked up a trend which could suggest that the Congress is over 100 seats at least.
Manisha Prem, scenario number 1, your sense of the probability of the Congress ending up very close to a full majority?
The Congress is going to end up very close to a full majority, but definitely short of that mark, and that's the trouble. So while the Hinda card may be working, at the same time, Siddaramaiah's strategy of picking up and riling an enemy in the erstwhile dominant caste of the Vokkaligas could cost the Congress a lot. Were the Congress a united house projecting Siddaramaiah, but also retaining its old leaders D.K. Shivakumar and S.M. Krishna. Remember, the face of the earlier government of the governance model different from Chandrababu Naidu was S.M. Krishna in Bangalore. So I think if it's not getting confidently to that halfway mark, it's largely still the old Mysuru region and its politics, which Siddaramaiah has been effectively able to dismantle, just like the license permit Raj, but he's not been able to replace the Vokkaliga dominance with anything else. So will the Kurba come back with the vengeance that the Vokkaligas gave to the Congress party? That remains, in my understanding, the moot question even now, despite a fractured verdict across regions.
Your sense of the likelihood of scenario number 1?
I would believe that this is the most likely scenario. plus or minus 5 around the midway mark, 111, plus 5 or minus 5 is where I see the Congress positioning itself. For me, the factors which would bring the Congress to that position is first, the social coalition they have been able to create of the non-dominant backward castes, the Muslims, the Dalits and the tribals. Now that I think is a very formidable combination. The fact that the party is seen as having delivered for the economically marginalized is something which I think will work in favor of the party. And thirdly, I think the Congress party focusing on the local, making the issue of Kannadiga pride, Kannadiga identity and local issues as the mainstay of their campaign, I think has taken the initiative away from the BJP and made the Congress the center of the campaign.
Rohan Gupta, the Congress itself doesn't seem very certain about scenario number 1 because suddenly there's talk of a Dalit chief minister, Kharge virtually throwing his hat in the ring, Siddaramaiah yesterday talking about being okay if the High Command wants a Dalit chief minister. The Congress itself doesn't seem very confident about scenario number 1.
We are 100% sure. And Siddaramaiah as a party soldier, he just answered the question. So there is no question of we not getting full majority. And I was with Rajdeep on ground. The way the vibrancy is there, it's combination of 6 states together. You know, the way PM has taken the whole campaign, I don't think so it has gone well with the local people because what they want is what is there for Karnataka. And that is where Siddaramaiah ji has cleverly planned the whole campaign, just talk about Karnataka.
Okay.
Very quickly, Rohan Gupta was in a part of, I met him in Mumbai, Karnataka, and my belief is Mumbai, Karnataka is where the BJP is likely to do well. So maybe he was in the wrong part of Karnataka because that's where the BJP has really put its effort.
I want to play out now scenario number 2. This is where the Congress ends up short of a majority. If it's just a couple of seats short, it doesn't matter so much. But if it's more than 10 to 15 seats short of a majority, then there are several implications we need to look at very closely. Implication number 1, the Janata Dal Secular will not under any circumstances back Siddaramaiah as Chief Minister. There's too much bad blood there. So the JDS isn't going to be backing Siddaramaiah for a second term in office. The Congress will be forced then to hunt for a compromised Chief Minister. There's talk already of a Dalit Chief Minister. Mallikarjun Kharge is one of the names that's doing the rounds. G. Parameshwara would like to believe he has a shot. He believes he was unfairly denied the last time, but that is something which would lead to immediate dissent from Siddaramaiah, and there could be some kind of a rebellion within the legislative party of the Congress. The JDS though will drive a very, very hard bargain. Depending on how short the Congress is, also possibly insist that their man be Chief Minister. Veera Raghav, your sense on scenario number 2?
Well, I think the most likely scenario at the moment is 100 to 105 for the Congress. The second most likely scenario could possibly be just around the 100 mark. While you have focused on the Congress JDS problem that has gone on, what you forget to point out, and what most analysts I feel have forgetting, is the kind of statements that Deve Gowda issued saying, I'll disown my son if he goes with the BJP. The JDS is a party. Narendra Modi also attacked the JDS. He said it's a waste of your vote if you go and cast your vote for the JDS. So, you know, to think of this BJP-JDS alliance as something very easy. Around the 100-105 mark, I still believe Siddaramaiah and the Congress have a better chance. The JDS may not want to upset that cart at the moment and try and find some kind of tacit understanding to ensure
With
that
Siddaramaiah.
even with Siddaramaiah behind the scenes,
Sandeep
at some
Shastri
level,
disagrees.
if it's 105 plus.
No, again, it depends on how close you are to 111. And
So
if
what's
it's-
the
if
what's
it's
the
just a question
cutoff
of
figure?
few
Is there a cutoff figure from where it becomes tough for Siddaramaiah?
Less than
You're saying impossible for JDS to do business
is an
with.
existential question for the JDS. Impossible with
R.K.
Siddaramaiah.
Upadhyay, what's the
That's
cutoff
stigma
figure
neck
for
out.
where Siddaramaiah's
On the
chances are
JDS,
diminished?
I think less than
impossible
100,
with
if
Siddaramaiah.
it is less than 100, Siddaramaiah has no
It's up.
chance.
Harish Biju.
Yeah, I think it's the Bata prize, the 99 versus 100. It is about 100. Anything more than that, I think Siddaramaiah will stand a good chance. Because one of the defining facts is going to be the issue of saying that there is something called pro-incumbency out here. If the Congress attains 100 seats, I would define it as pro-incumbency and decimate a complete word called anti-incumbency. You're fighting anti-incumbency, you are getting 100 seats, which means that the mandate of the state of Karnataka is towards you, and the JDS may not want to disturb the apple cart out there. But the key question is, will the captain who took the Congress into the election, who did all his local politics, who defined the entire way state politics would dominate over central politics, will he be the leader of the new government That is the question. So Siddaramaiah or minus Siddaramaiah is a difficult question to
Rajdeep,
answer.
we look at how much
not just-
Devegowda and Kumaraswamy hate Siddaramaiah, but let's not forget the deep inroads Siddaramaiah already has within the JDS. That's the fold he comes from, and already leaders like DK Shivkumar are talking about the possibility of splitting the JDS if the need so arises.
You know, Rahul, it just doesn't depend on how many seats the Congress gets, but also how many seats JDS gets and how many seats BJP gets. If the gap between the BJP and the Congress, for example, is 10 seats, then the BJP will claim that this is a fractured verdict. If the gap is more than 10 seats, then I think the pressure will be on the JDS to strike some kind of a deal. But I still believe if the JDS has its way, Devegowda, this is the old style Taluka Panchayat leader who wants to take his revenge on the other Taluka Panchayat leader. I will support you, but no Siddaramaiah. Then I want to see how Rahul Gandhi responds. Rahul Gandhi as of now is going to fully back Siddaramaiah. He has apparently fought this election in the name of Siddaramaiah. Now for him to pull back would be seen to be some kind of an acceptance
And
that Karnataka has thrown up a
in
priority.
what Siddaramaiah said yesterday, there was a veiled threat. The Congress High Command can appoint a leader, Dalit leader, but you have to look at how the legislative party would respond.
It's a very clever statement that even if you appoint a Dalit leader, it should be as a consensus among the MLAs and should not lead to any dissidence.
Also, very quickly, 150 at least to 160 of the 224 candidates are Siddaramaiah's choices. Siddaramaiah had a complete dominance over the choice of candidates. Now, the JDS breaking, as you asked, for the JDS to break is not going to happen overnight, but there is the possibility over a month or two that the JDS, if it's say 25, it will become very vulnerable. Anything below 30 makes the JDS vulnerable.
You know, the talk on the ground now is of this Dalit leadership. The talk on the ground that I'm picking up is that the name of Mahadevappa seems to be coming up, who's a confidant of Siddaramaiah. Look, Siddaramaiah is not going to let go that easy. If you cross 100, 105, boss, he's going to take the bull by its horns, the Gaudas by their horns, and they're going to be in deep trouble. If he falls below 100, it will be a victory for the Congress, but a defeat for Siddaramaiah.
Okay, I want to come now to scenario number 3. This is where the BJP gets into play. The possibility of the BJP ending up as the single largest party, but short of a majority. Remember, there are some opinion polls that have said it. We're giving it a probability index of 2 out of 5. But the reason for that is we believe our opinion poll, our exit poll, more than what some of the other exit polls are saying. But the fact is that this is a scenario which should also be looked at. What this would suggest is that the BJP strategy, piloted by Amit Shah, executed on the ground through those big rallies by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, would have worked. They were wanting to deny the Congress a simple majority. And if this comes through, if the BJP emerges as the single largest, then it would really show that the BJP strategy worked. What it also would mean is that the Congress would have lost its best chance of forming a government in a state where it had multiple factors going in its favor. The JDS in such a scenario could strike a deal with the BJP and join a BJP-led alliance. Kumaraswamy would like to see himself as Deputy Chief Minister, depending on the amount of seats they get. Insist also on being Chief Minister in rotation, of course, depending on the number of seats they get. Is it likely, R.K. Upadhyay, that the JDS would do business more easily with the Congress, more easily with the BJP than with the Congress?
I think so. Because see, BJP will be ready to offer them chief ministership. So even let's say even if it's BJP,
Would be willing to offer them chief ministership.
Yes, if they're around 80 BJP and JDS is around 40 plus. They would not mind.
Narendra Kaneja, how important is it for the BJP to deny the Congress an opportunity of coming to power? Yes.
If it is 40 plus JDS, we'll have a strong thing to claim that we need the chief ministership. If not,
how can a party at 40 be chief minister and the party at 80 is not becoming chief minister?
But with 58 seats, they got the chief ministership.
Narendra Kaneja, how important is for the BJP to deny the Congress? We saw what happened in Goa, we saw what happened in Manipur.
Rahul, I've been listening very patiently to everyone. It looks like the panel has already formed the government of the Congress.
We haven't. We've got 4 scenarios.
You all have formed the government. Congratulations to all of you. But wait 11 in the morning tomorrow, you're all going to be hugely disappointed. Look, and I'm not talking in rhetoric here. We know Karnataka well. We know each and every constituency thoroughly. And let me share with you, I can be back here 11 o'clock morning. We can have a bet or a cup of coffee or whatever. Look, we are forming not only the government, we are getting 130 plus. And Rahul, I bet with you on air, Congress is not going to get more than 70 seats.
Okay, let's take a bet. What are you prepared to bet that the BJP ends up 130 plus?
What are you doing on the ground? 130
what are you
plus
prepared to bet?
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Green tea.
Big bet.
Well,
Okay,
I can't bet 50 lakh rupees what?
Well, I have no 50 lakh.
Obviously,
I'm not
when
a-
he's voting for
But I have
130,
one
he can
box
be
of
only cup of tea.
Dharwar
I
ka
don't
peda.
have 50 lakh
I have
rupees
one
watch.
box of
Cup
Dharwar
of
ka
tea.
peda. It's about 90,
Then if you are
90
betting
rupees.
for 130, it can be
one
only
box
cup
of
of tea.
Dharwar
You
ka
cannot
peda we
Yes,
still
cup.
have
90
from
afford more than that.
Hubli.
Was sorry.
You can't afford more
Does
than
one
that.
box of Dharwar ka peda work? We've got it back from Hubli. We'll give it to you. You get 130. Yeah. We'll have to- Okay. Let's come back. How important, Sandeep Shastri, is it for the BJP to deny the Congress the opportunity of coming to power? Even if the JDS is much smaller, would they be willing to have Kumaraswamy as Chief Minister to keep Siddaramaiah out?
Yeah, with due respect to Tanreja sir, if the BJP were to stop at around 70, 80, I think it's very critical for them to deny the Congress a chance to form the government. And in the negotiation with the JDS, the BJP would be very, very willing to maybe concede the chief ministership. If it
Manisha
comes to
Prem,
that,
willing to
because
concede
you are stopping the Congress in
Chief
its tracks.
Ministership
No,
because
no,
you
I-
get to ensure the Congress is no longer in power?
With due respect to Sandeep Shastri ji, there's also 2019 to be fought. Get the Lingayat vote, get a Volkalinga Chief Minister. 2019 script, social base of the BJP, as it is, you can see, with the Ahinda formation, checkmated clearly. Nearly 40% on our screen yesterday we saw of the poorer classes, so to say, going with the Congress, the backward, non-dominant backward caste, the
No, I
ati
think Lok
pichda.
Sabha elections will be
Just a
totally
minute,
different.
just
It will
a-
be totally
no,
different
no,
scenario.
just a minute.
Don't compare with the
No, just why not?
assembly,
Why not?
assembly
Why not?
results with the Lok
Why
Sabha.
not?
Bijur, how important
just
is
a
this
minute.
for the BJP?
You
It
take
won't be
all the pichdas with you,
It won't be the same.
and then have a dominant leadership there in power just because you want to rule the state. The BJP is going to ruin 2019 for
I could just
itself.
respond to that.
Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is not a
If I do
tenable
believe
option.
that the BJP is in second position and not at 130 but at 80, I think it's very important for the BJP to deny the Congress a chance to rule Karnataka. The basic idea simply is that 80 means a significant mandate which has come towards the BJP. At the same time, it also means that, there's 2019 ahead. And the Congress, the BJP will not want a Congress government in the state of Karnataka, which possibly is not at a brute majority,
Because
but
Rajdeep,
it is at a
the
minor
Prime Minister has
majority.
been calling Karnataka the ATM for the Congress, so they will want to deny the Congress the opportunity of coming to power.
No, they will want to deny the opportunity to the Congress of coming to power, but please understand, and there I partially agree with Manisha, whoever says 2019 to me also matters for the BJP. If the BJP is at 75, 80, it will find it difficult to form a government with the JDS and give the chief ministership to the JDS and leave Yediyurappa, in whose name you fought the election, completely out of the picture.
Yeah,
The
put him by
Lingayats
his
will
side.
feel humiliated, and without the Lingayats, the BJP is a
Nothing.
marginal party in Karnataka. Let's be very clear.
I need to come to scenario number
just as,
4.
just as the Congress needs 100, just as the Congress needs 100, I believe the BJP needs 90. Because if the BJP needs 90, that means the Congress will also be below 100. Once the Congress is below 100, I believe the BJP has the moral right then to go along and tell JDS, look, let's form a government together. But if the BJP is at 80 and decides to tie up with the party at 40 and keeps Yediyurappa out, it will hit them in 2019 in the Lok
Okay,
Sabha.
I need to move the needle. I need to come to scenario number 4. Let's look at scenario number 4. What happens if the Congress and the BJP end up neck and neck? 5 seats here, 5 seats there, right next to each other. The scenario is quite probable. We're giving it a probability of 3 out of 5. What happens in such a scenario? It's my sense that the BJP then has possibly the better chance of being able to form a government. The Congress will try and break the Janata Dal secular if the Gaudas hold out and don't agree to have Siddaramaiah as chief minister. This is when resort politics takes center stage. There's already talk of 2 or 3 resorts being booked. The resort owners are rubbing their hands in glee. They'd be excited about what happens tomorrow, but this of course is just the grapevine, and we don't know for certain. But what we do know for certain is in such a scenario, the JDS Veera Raghav will get to play kingmaker.
We were discussing BJP Congress. Remember that the JDS is also desperate, possibly even to support a BJP at 80 and say, look, I am okay with a weaker BJP than a stronger Congress in power. The JDS also is not something that's going to only go down and ask for chief minister. They will have to see how it's going to work out. In that situation, and trust me, if it comes down to that close, I think, and my own instinct is, that the JDS finds a Congress without Siddaramaiah, like a Congress under Dharam Singh, more acceptable than a strong BJP which is in power at the centre and power at the state, but within a period of 6 months can break their party.
I would agree with what he's saying, because I think for the JDS, their best option is Congress minus Siddaramaiah. Because Devagowda will then have killed two birds with one stone. He's taken his revenge on Siddaramaiah and can hope to play some role in 2019 at the centre as part. You know, let's be very clear. The JDS, you know, Devagowda is a former Prime Minister, and he still, while Kumaraswamy will be more than happy to have a role in Bengaluru, Devagowda still entertains hopes of playing some role in Delhi. So his first case scenario is Congress minus Siddaramaiah. His second case scenario would be Kumaraswamy becoming Chief Minister, for which the JDS, I believe, needs 40 plus. In a 40 plus, 50 plus scenario, they would have an option. The third option is which is actually linked to the first, make Revanna the Deputy Chief Minister, your other son, and support a Congress minus Siddaramaiah.
R.K. Upadhyay, is it correct to say if both parties are neck and neck, the BJP has a better chance, or would you disagree?
I think BJP has a better chance, and if JDS has to, tie up with BJP, Devagowda hates Yediyurappa as much as Siddaramaiah. He doesn't want a very powerful chief minister, so he might, go for somebody else. Somebody else like Anant Kumar. Anant Kumar has a very good equation with Devagowda. That's a possibility. Or if you're talking about a Dalit,
but the BJP would never go for a Brahmin in this election. The present scenario is very clear.
No, if you want a Dalit,
chief minister from a caste which doesn't target. Devagowda, you're right, wants a weak chief minister. So as he had Dharam Singh. So he will not accept an Anant Kumar, a Brahmin from Bengaluru.
No, the other option is Govind Karjol. He's a strong.
What state you're talking about?
I'm ready to bet.
You're talking about Karnataka?
No, Rahul, I'm ready to bet. For Congress full majority, my 2 kgs of Dharwad peda.
You brought peda, you're stealing my pedas.
2 kgs, no, I've brought it.
You brought it.
So my bet is higher than him, and I'm going to win it.
Congress can afford.
Okay, I come now to scenario number 5. Scenario number 5. Very quickly. Scenario number 5 coming up on our screen just now. Scenario number 5 is a full majority for the Bharatiya Janata Party. We're giving it a probability of only 1 on a scale of 5. But if this were to come true, then Modi and Shah show they are simply unstoppable. It's a juggernaut which just cannot be bested. The Congress would be further diminished as a national force. It would be yet another body blow to Rahul Gandhi. There's been some talk of Rahul Gandhi finding his mojo, getting better at his job. All of that would be out of the window. And suddenly the BJP, which is on the defensive in Madhya Pradesh, which is on the back foot in Rajasthan, would feel that if we can win in Karnataka despite all odds, we can find a way of retaining Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Sandeep Shastri.
Now,
1:5 is the probability. Do you agree?
Now, if this were to be the scenario, you will have Mr. Yediyurappa saying, I'm going to be sworn in on the 17th as he wants. And I think clearly, as you said, the BJP strategy would have worked. And the Congress would then be clutching on to the 2.5 seats that they are, the 2.5 states they are in power. And I think in some senses the BJP would be in pole position for 2019.
And I think we will have to turn around and tell Ramakrishna Upadhyay Alampana to see great hope.
Yeah, pedas.
That comes through.
I'm waiting for my pedas.
Then tomorrow's dinner. Okay, first we have to give him the pedas, and tomorrow's dinner comes from him. Because he would have got it right. No, we'll have to actually treat him. Yes,
I believe there is a possibility that this could happen. But if it does happen, it simply means one thing. It simply means that we believe a lot more in the word called anti-incumbency. Secondly, it's 23 not out. A complete brute majority for the BJP means that the BJP poll juggernaut has succeeded
and one more step towards a real Congress with Bharat.
And the third question I would ask is 2019 going to be 2019 or is it going to be December 2018? Because that possibility is something which we must not
and if there's a clear majority for the BJP, it will completely, in a sense, demolish the Congress ahead of 2019. The Congress will not be a magnet for the anti-BJP votes. It will be a huge setback for Rahul Gandhi if that happens. It will mean that the Narendra Modi, Amit Shah juggernaut is unassailable. So I think, because remember, Karnataka is a tough state for the BJP. The social coalition in Karnataka.
Assam was a tough state before they won.
Yes, that's right. So I'm saying, on the back of Tripura, on the back of what happened in Tripura, on the back of Tripura, if the BJP gets a majority in Karnataka in a state where every everyone will tell you there are at least 40 seats where the BJP has given up, 20 seats where the BJP is backing the Janata Dal secular. So the BJP is effectively contesting about 165 seats in Karnataka. If they get 112 of those, it's a remarkable victory. And then any talk, any more of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah having problems south of the Vindhyas, or that the BJP after the 2 by-election reverses in Uttar Pradesh is on the back foot, will all be shattered. Any other result, I believe any other result, including the BJP being party number 1 but short of a majority, will mean that the opposition will still believe it's at play. But a majority, I think it will be the most remarkable victory that the BJP would have achieved, even more than Tripura, because Karnataka was a state where the Congress has traditionally dominated the politics. The BJP is only 1 year once, and that too when there was a Yediyurappa sympathy wave.
Destroy the South
time for a
India.
break.
South India
Quick 3 point. Quick 3 point. Number 1, Mr. Yediyurappa will be the chief minister. No discussion, no debate on that as far as BJP is concerned. Number 2, you see what people are not able to see, because there's the very nature of tsunami is like that. Tsunami don't see, until you're hit by it. It's a tsunami in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party. Many of you, most of you can't see it, because tsunami is by very nature. You see, unless you're hit by it, you have to experience it. You don't get to see it. Third point very quickly. Siddaramaiah ji is, Captain Amarinder Singh of the South. All right, it's not Rahul Gandhi. It's not Congress Party. So the question is, come 11 tomorrow, 11
Okay, so I'm out of time.
He's going to get full majority.
I need to take a break.
Let me complete. Rahul, let me complete. When I say Siddaramaiah means nothing to do with Rahul Gandhi. But this is the
I hope that's not a Freudian slip.
No. But difference is in the north. No. Difference is in the north. Captain Amarinder Singh delivered not to the Congress but to himself. In Siddaramaiah, there he's already talking of Dalits and all that.
Isn't that very unfair? Isn't that very unfair? If the Congress wins, you give the credit to Siddaramaiah. If the Congress loses, you say
I am saying that he is the man, he is the sponsor of Congress
Okay,
Party.
I need to take a break. I don't know about tsunami warning system, but welcome back. You're watching an India Today special broadcast. We are building up to counting day. In this part of the broadcast, I want to show you what the new political map of Karnataka can potentially look like. What we've done is pin down on the map of Karnataka where each party is drawing its support from. I'll start with the BJP. The BJP doing well in Bombay, Karnataka, in the northwest part of the state, doing very well in coastal Karnataka, and doing relatively well in central Karnataka. Let's now show you the Congress's pockets of support. According to the Access My India data, the Congress doing very well in Hyderabad, Karnataka, picking up 33 of the 40 seats at play over here. Doing relatively well in Bengaluru city, picking up 15 of the 26 seats at play, and doing well in Old Mysore. You see a lot of blue concentrated in the South Karnataka part of the state. That's the Congress's area of support. Let's now show you the Janata Dal Seculars area of support, concentrated largely in Old Mysore, where the party is expected to pick up 20 out of the 64 seats. But the key to the verdict tomorrow will be the 36 tough fight seats. These are seats where the gap between the victor and the runner-up, according to the Access My India data, is less than 2%. These are largely concentrated in the Bombay, Karnataka part of the state, 10 out of the 36 seats there. This is what the full map of Karnataka can potentially look like if the Access My India numbers turn out to be correct yet again. A broad sense of which party is drawing its support from which part of the state. I want to show you now, next, the vote share percentages. Coming up on your screen next, a region-wise swing breakup to show you which party is doing relatively well in which part of the state. So there are 6 regions of Karnataka. I'll show you the swings in each of the regions. I'll start with Bengaluru city. The Congress ordinarily getting decimated in urban pockets, but in Bengaluru, its vote share is 39%, 1% less than the last time. The BJP's vote share has gone up, but there's a big dip in the JDS's vote share in Bengaluru. Access My India picks up a 6% decline in the JDS Bengaluru vote share. Let's now come to central Karnataka. In central Karnataka, the BJP is shown as enjoying good leads, picking up a 3% advantage over the 2013 data for central Karnataka. The Congress losing 2% of its vote share, but once again, it's the JDS that has suffered the biggest loss, a minus 3% swing away from the JDS in central Karnataka. Let's now come to the 40 seats of Hyderabad, Karnataka. Here, look at that number on your screen, a 12% jump in the Congress's vote share in Hyderabad, Karnataka. If this one trend picked up by Axis My India is correct, this could be one of the defining aspects of the verdict on Tuesday. The BJP's vote share in Hyderabad, Karnataka, despite everything that was done by Messrs. Modi and Shah, coming down by 5% according to Axis My India. Once again, the JDS, the biggest loser. The party's vote share declining by 8%. Remember, earlier the JDS had some support because of individual candidates in other parts of the state as well. That's now coming down in region after region. That's one of the trends picked up by the Axis My India data. This is coastal Karnataka on your screen now. Here, massive BJP dominance, a 14% positive swing in favor of the BJP. The BJP clocking 50% of the vote share here. The Congress's vote share in coastal Karnataka, an area where they've done well in the last election, coming down by 7%. The JDS also losing 6% of the vote here. Let's now come to Bombay, Karnataka. This is where the BJP has done remarkably well in these 50 seats. The BJP enjoys a 44% vote share. That's 3% up from the last time. The Congress's vote share also 1% up from the last time. Here, the others have done badly. Remember, this is the Lingayat-dominated belt. The JDS here down 3% vote share from the last time. Finally, let me now show you Old Mysore. In Old Mysore, on these 64 seats, the JDS losing 3% vote share. This is crucial for the JDS because this is their core area of support. The Congress's vote share going up 2%, the BJP's vote share going up 2%. So this is a broad sense of the region-wise swing in the vote share data. I want to focus just for a moment on the marginal seats of Karnataka. Remember, we've classified a marginal seat as a seat where there's a 2% gap between the winner and the runner-up. I'm walking across to the main India Today election studio. We've got all our pundits who are seeing this data very carefully. Let's have that up on our screen right now. The 36 marginal seats. And what we're going to do is just play around with the numbers to show you what the situation would be if these 36 seats are kept on the side for a moment. If I leave aside the 36 tight fight seats, the Congress is sitting at 89 comfortable leads according to the Axis My India data. The BJP is sitting at 73 comfortable leads according to the India Today Axis My India exit poll. The Janata Dal Secular sitting at 24 comfortable leads according to the Axis My India data, and there are 36 tough fights. These 36 tough fights could go in either direction, and that really will determine the verdict tomorrow. So the total number of seats up for grabs are 222. What I want to do now in this part of the broadcast is start looking at the X factors. We've put down 5 X factors which will determine the verdict tomorrow. I'll take X factor number 1, the mystery of the high voter turnout. Remember, Karnataka recorded a 72.13% voter turnout, which is the highest the state has ever seen, going all the way back to the 1952 assembly elections. The average turnout for the last 5 elections was 68.27%. So this is about 4% more. That's a big increase over the last 5 elections in Karnataka. 4% increase in voter turnout. Most of the opinion and exit polls that were done showed a relatively low level of anti-incumbency against Siddaramaiah. So it's not as if this 4% extra voter that's come out and voted is dying to send Siddaramaiah packing. There isn't that higher level of anti-incumbency. The BJP RSS have mobilized voters and gone out, especially in Bombay, Karnataka, and ensured that their voter comes out and votes. Bombay, Karnataka saw a big positive swing. A swing was also seen in the old Mysore area. For example, in Mysore district, a 9% increase in vote share. So overall, a 4% increase in vote share data. Rajdeep Sardesai, what does this 4% swing mean, and the fact that this is the highest voter turnout ever in Karnataka?
You know, it could go either way. It could mean anti-incumbency, but it could also mean the fact that there is a positive vote of support. It just depends who's come out to vote. You know, there is a sense that in the Vocaliga-dominated areas, there's been a higher turnout. Now, that could mean either there's a Vocaliga consolidation or there is a counter-Vocaliga consolidation. Bangalore itself has witnessed about a 54-55% turnout, which is well below the even below last time. Now, does that mean that the middle classes have not come out to vote in large numbers and the poorer incomes have come? Look, I don't think turnout can be decisive in the manner that we, conventional wisdom
says. No, it is decisive. but it's difficult to predict which
That's
way
right.
it is decisive.
We've seen in recent
Yesterday-
elections, in every
yesterday it
recent
was
election, turnouts by and large have been going up because the election commission has been more and more successful in getting people on the electoral rolls and getting them to the polling booths. And I think this is where in marginal seats the BJP will have a slight edge because the BJP has been much more successful. Its cadres have been going to people's homes on an average 4 or 5 times versus the Congress, which I'm told goes to the same homes about twice. So I think the BJP will have an edge in the marginal seats, but it again depends where the marginal seats are. If the marginal seats are in Old Mysore, the Congress will perhaps be more hopeful in a direct contest with the JDS. But if it is in Mumbai, Karnataka or coastal Karnataka, I would give the advantage to the BJP.
Sandeep Shastri, 4% extra vote. You look at that line graph on your screen right now, 68, 69, 68, 65. Whew. And now from 71, it's gone up to 72%. There's an increase there. Who do you think benefits?
Now, you have clearly said,
Absolutely not.
clearly said that this increase is significant in 2 regions, the Mumbai-Karnataka region and the old Mysore region. Let's remember, Mumbai-Karnataka region sees this very close contest between the BJP and the Congress, and a large chunk of your 36 marginal seats are there.
10 seats are
in that region. So I think this increase of voter turnout in that region implies the intensity of contest, and as Rajdeep said, I think it's more important to ask the question, which are the social groups which have turned out more? If it's the poor who have turned out more, if it's rural voters who have turned out more, it seems to be advantage the Congress.
Also Muslims and Dalits.
Yes,
Muslims
and also
and Dalits,
Veeraraghav.
all indications have come out in larger numbers, which is why I think the Congress is feeling a little bit more confident. But if the voter turnout is much more in middle class areas of Mumbai, Karnataka, coastal Karnataka, the BJP will
But
feel
the
more
fact
confident.
is, Veeraraghav, that the BJP has gone out and mobilized voters through the RSS, through its cadre on the ground in a historic fashion.
Look, point here.
Yes,
you
Raj.
see Karnataka, since we were in government, the booth level activities were much stronger in Karnataka for Congress.
Then where
compared
you
to-
come from in Gujarat.
Absolutely, because 5 years there are booth committees. They have finished. If you see Siddaramaiah ji, he has visited all the constituencies much before the election was done. All
But the RSS cadres were there in that last mile. They were going to people's houses on an average 5 times,
See,
9
that's what-
a.m. or 9
see,
p.m.
that's
Their
what-
cadres are more committed than
Rahul,
your
see,
cadres.
Yes,
Congress
that's
has
what I'm
started
saying.
talking about booth committees now. They have discovered that there is something.
Veeraraghav.
Why? It's
Number-
not
but-
your monopoly.
No, it's
We-
not
our-
monopoly. It's just
Congress has been
our
doing booth
model.
They
committees.
used to have booth committees
It's our model.
before they forgot
It's
it.
not your model.
But you see,
One
higher
second,
turnout,
model of
Rahul,
Shiva.
higher turnout is basically the result of efforts of Bharatiya Janata Party's workers on the ground.
No, hang on. Mumbai, Karnataka, Old Mysore region. These are the 2 regions where you're seeing higher turnout.
Correct.
Please just see that the Lingayat issue was a major issue there. There was greater mobilization by both parties, and there was a serious point that was being discussed there. So you don't know which way it's going to go. Old Mysore region, there has been a serious Vokkaliga consolidation that we've been speaking about, and a counter consolidation. So these 2 regions, I think it's impossible to hazard a guess on which way this is going to
Manisha
go.
Priya.
One hypothesis that I would float is that the higher turnout does indicate that there was far greater voter deliberation on issues than we think there
Why
has
do you
been.
say that?
Why else will people come out?
No,
when
it could just be
matters to
cleaning
them?
up the rolls.
No.
It
You
could just be
don't
cleaning up the rolls, removing all the dead voters, the bogus voters, the fake voters. That by itself
could be
gives you,
cleansing of the electoral
it
votes.
by
It's just
itself
a
gives you
1% increase.
a numerical
so
increase.
At least the least that can be accepted is that it stays more or less at the 71% mark.
It's gone up
if
even
it's-
more.
Yeah, if it's gone up even more,
RQ Upadhyay, quickly.
it's a higher side turnout.
I have gone in the Bombay Karnataka area and I didn't find any impact of this Lingayat issue. So possibly there is a consolidation of the Lingayats in favor of the BJP.
Harish Bijur, what does the
may be one
extra
of the
voter
reasons why
turnout
there has
mean?
been
What does this
there has
record
been
polling
such
mean?
a high
Firstly, Rahul,
percentage of votes.
the tough fights will actually be determined by vote bank votes and out of vote bank votes. The out of vote bank votes is all about the new voters, the mobilization that's actually happening. Now, the key factors which are unknown here due to new voters coming in is how do they think, is there a Modi wave out there?
But remember, the
after what's
Congress's
happened?
own polling data was showing them that young voters were being swayed by what Modi was saying.
Definitely, but the point is that if the young voters were swayed, the mobilization seems to have been done by the hard grassroots level activity that the BJP is
Okay,
doing.
I want to come now, but to X factor number 2.
No, at the same time, while
There is
young
a-
voters have been swayed, there is some evidence to show, and the Congress believes in this in Karnataka, which they didn't believe in other states, is women voters who have been the beneficiaries of the Bhagya scheme.
No, our data
have also
shows
come
that.
out in decent
Rajdeep,
numbers,
our data-
and they may back Siddaramaiah.
Rajdeep,
So
our data-
while the young may be with Modi, The women may be
Our data shows,
but
Rajdeep, that
if
more
you-
women have voted for the Congress than men.
Yeah, but one important factor I think is going to impact is the silent vote of the silent majority. There are a lot of people who talk about who they're voting for, and that comes out in an exit poll. There are a lot of people who attend rallies, that comes out. But what you cannot measure is the silent vote of the silent majority.
I want
I
to
call
come
the
now.
silent voter the plus voter. No party can win Karnataka without the plus voter. JDS cannot win only on Vokaliga vote. BJP cannot win only on Lingayat, and the Congress cannot win only on the Dalit minority.
Okay, I
vote.
need
They
to come
need
to
a
X
plus
factor
vote.
number two. X factor
Then
number
it is
two coming up on your
advantage
screen
Congress.
right now.
It's advantage Congress.
Performance of the Reddy brothers. Remember, the exit poll data shows that a lot of the Reddy associates are struggling. The BJP is shown trailing in Bellary city. It is shown trailing in rural Bellary. Now, there are two things that can happen to my mind. One is that because voters are fearful because of the mafiosi-like presence of the Reddy brothers, therefore they may mask actual voting intention. So when a surveyor goes up to them, the respondent does speak but doesn't necessarily tell the truth. Where there is fear, we've often seen this in past elections. There are a total of 8 associates of the Reddy brothers who are in the fray, and the Reddy brothers virtually managed the BJP's campaign in 22 seats in the districts of Bellary, Raichur and Chitradurg. How important do you believe, Sandeep Shastri, will the performance of the Reddy brothers be? If they get bested in their own bastion of Bellary, that would be one of the big headlines.
The BJP chief ministerial candidate had said that the Reddy brothers were necessary to win that additional 10-12 seats in the central Karnataka region. He has officially stated this. So very clearly, the Reddy brothers were seen as boosting the BJP's chances in central Karnataka. But again, data shows that the people do not seem to have taken kindly to this, and this is for both the BJP and the Congress.
No, it will be fabulous if it
Now
happens.
there is a lot of resentment against the Reddys.
Our data shows that.
Yes, and I'm sure they're losing. You know, there's 8 seats.
Okay, I need to
Probably
come to
they'll
X
be
factor number 3. X factor number 3 coming up on your screen right now. These are crucial factors. Watch out for them when you look at the numbers on India Today tomorrow. X factor number 3, the close fights in Bombay, Karnataka. Remember, there were a total of 36 close fights in the state of Karnataka according to our data. 10 of those come from one region, Bombay, Karnataka, which means every 1 out of the 5 seats in Bombay, Karnataka is a tough fight. The BJP here expected to pick 30 seats. If they lose some of these tough fights, then the BJP's overall tally could potentially get impacted. This is the one area that saw the maximum concentrated bombardment of senior leaders of the BJP and the Congress. So they clearly knew before our exit poll as well that this is where the maximum number of tough fights was. Coming up on your screen now, X factor number 5. This is the last X factor. To what extent will the Janata Dal secular vote bank crack? Remember, Access My India is showing a big dip in the seat share of the JDS. While they're holding on to their Vokaliga vote share, they're not being able to pull in the extra votes. Also, in other parts of the state where they ordinarily do well, by picking up a few seats, this time they seem to be struggling. 77% of the Muslims we polled in South Karnataka said they voted for the Congress. The Muslims have been apprehensive about the possibility of a BJP-JDS tie-up. A strong performance by the Janata Dal secular is crucial to the BJP's plans of stalling the Congress, regardless of what BJP leaders may say on the camera. This area saw a tactical alliance on many seats between the BJP and the JDS, and therefore if the JDS crashes, that again would be one of the key headlines of the counting day tomorrow. Rajdeep, final words.
I think this is the biggest X factor. You know, the Janata Dal secular's performance, to my mind, will determine whether we'll have a badly hung assembly or whether we'll have one party close to the majority. To my mind, that is the critical factor, because this is the largest area. The 64 seats of old Mysore have traditionally given the route to Bengaluru. I know the BJP will rely on Mumbai, Karnataka, but even at its best, it's got 35 to 37 of the 50 seats, which was in 2008. But I think if you are looking at 2018, the Janata Dal secular, will it decline, will determine whether the Congress is close to the majority.
No, I feel, Devegoda and have done remarkably well in this area because they have, played a very emotional, campaign, saying that this is our last election. If we don't elect us,
Manisha,
we are out.
final words.
That is the reason why I feel they're doing
I
well.
can see
One more
both
point,
in
one more
Rajdeep
point.
and Upadhyay.
They won, 34 out of 40 seats from this area. And last time they had only 6 from the entire other places. So my sense is they're picking up some 10 seats in the northern
Manisha,
Karnataka.
very
So
quickly.
in Rajdeep and Upadhyay, I see it is old Mysuru, the princely state of old Mysuru, where the first affirmative actions were formulated under Nalwadi Krishnaraj Bodiar. That's the area that still matters. Remember, it's the lowest and the poorest,
Harish Bijul.
still upholding democracy in India.
You know, the JDS in the Karnataka election was sandwiched by the BJP at one end with Mr. Modi's comments about the JDS later, and by Rahul Gandhi and his comments. So the sandwich moment, I think, is over. Now the new sandwich moment in a hung assembly context is the JDS sandwiching possibly either or both of the parties.
Very quickly, Narendra Taneja, 10 seconds.
Rahul, you're overestimating Congress for sure, but even JDS you're overestimating. And you're hugely underestimating Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, I'm going to keep those pedas
gonna
waiting
win
for
the
you
bet,
tomorrow.
And you're welcome.
We already
tomorrow.
have a bet. Yes, absolutely.
and
Veera
tomorrow.
Raga, final
But
words.
No, just a cup of coffee or something. No,
I don't
no
have a
fishing
fancy
at
watch also, so I can't possibly bet that. Yes.
Either which way, I guess we get cup of coffee or Dharwad pedas. So
Like a good journalist,
Yeah.
Veera Raghav is eating the peda regardless of
peda
who
and
wins.
the coffee, and
Yes.
and we have nothing to lose no matter who wins.
Rahul, your last 2 points decide whether the BJP goes above 100 or the Congress goes above
absolutely.
100. If Janata Dal does badly, Congress goes above 100. If in Mumbai, Karnataka, the BJP gains an upper hand, they go above
And
100. I
Mumbai,
think these
Karnataka,
two last
just remember-
factors will decide.
BJP needs 35 to 40 at the very minimum in Mumbai, Karnataka,
Yes.
and the Congress needs 40 plus in old Mysuru
Okay.
to decide
This
who
is
will be
where
over 100
we
seats.
wrap up this broadcast.
well
All the pundits have spoken, now let the people speak, you know. Then we'll find out whether our pundits knew anything at all, or was this entertainment, and would your time have been spent better watching the IPL? But it's been fantastic to have you on this broadcast. I hope you enjoyed this 1 hour of political analysis. We'll be back 6 a.m. onwards, getting you all the numbers and the ground reports. Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us. The best election team on TV all day long tomorrow on India Today. Do tune in.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.